The story you tell yourself about your life shapes how you see the world and what you believe is possible. In this video, we're exploring how to reclaim your personal narrative and rewrite it in a way that empowers your growth, resilience, and identity, not your doubt. Because you're not just living a story, you're the one writing it. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell for more tools to help you live with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Let's start shaping a story that actually supports the life you want, starting right now. 1. Understand that you're the author, not a victim. Your life narrative is the story you tell yourself about who you are, what's happened to you, and what's possible for your future. Often, people unknowingly play the role of passive characters, shaped by circumstances. But recognizing yourself as the author gives you back control. You can't rewrite the past, but you can change how you interpret it. Every moment becomes part of a broader story you're creating. Empowering narratives begin with agency. This happened for me, not to me. Once you step into authorship, you stop outsourcing meaning. Challenges become character-building arcs instead of proof of failure. Reflect on whether your current story is limiting or liberating. 2. Identify the dominant themes of your current narrative. To craft a more empowering narrative, first examine what story you're already telling. Are the dominant themes based on struggle, lack, rejection, or fear? Or do they focus on growth, resilience, learning, and love? We often replay internal scripts that reinforce limiting identities, like "I'd always mess things up," or "I'm just not that kind of person." These patterns quietly shape our behavior. Journaling can help surface hidden beliefs. Ask yourself, what are the key moments I reference when explaining who I am? And what emotions dominate my self-story? If shame, regret, or helplessness are recurring, your narrative likely needs editing. Identify whether the theme supports your potential or keeps you stuck. 3. Reframe past struggles as building blocks, not burdens. Every great story has tension, obstacles, and turning points. Your life is no different. What if you viewed your past struggles not as evidence of brokenness, but as the raw material for transformation? This reframing doesn't deny pain, it gives it purpose. For example, a failure might have taught you resilience, compassion, or clarity about your true path. Rather than erasing hard moments, integrate them into your story as essential growth chapters. Ask, what did this experience teach me? Or, how did I grow through this? Reframing shifts your narrative from one of helplessness to one of strength and survival. 4. Define who you are becoming, not just who you've been. Many people define themselves by past versions, mistakes, roles, or external labels. But a powerful life narrative is future-oriented. Start focusing on who you're becoming. Imagine your ideal self 5 years ahead. How do they think, act, and treat others? Begin crafting a story that includes that version of you, even if you're not there yet. When you say, "I'm the kind of person who," complete it based on growth, not limitation. This creates alignment between today's actions and tomorrow's identity. 5. Choose empowering language that reinforces growth. The words you use shape your reality. Saying, "I'm bad with money," becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Saying, "I'm learning to make better financial choices," keeps the door open for growth. Your narrative must be written with empowering, constructive language, because what you speak repeatedly, you start to believe. Replace "I always" and "I never" with "I used to" or "I'm working on." This subtle shift creates momentum. Practice storytelling that reflects growth. "That was a difficult period, but it taught me so much." Avoid fatalistic phrases like, "It's just who I am." Instead, use language that frames you as a dynamic, capable human. 6. Build a timeline of triumphs, even small ones. Your brain has a negativity bias. It remembers mistakes more vividly than wins. To counteract that, deliberately build a timeline of triumphs. Reflect on times you overcame fear, took a leap, helped someone, or solved a problem. Write them down chronologically, no matter how small. This list becomes a reference for your capability and resilience. When your inner critic gets loud, revisit this timeline as proof that you are resourceful, brave, and growing. By cataloging your victories, even micro wins, you reinforce the belief that you are the kind of person who figures things out. 7. Surround yourself with people who reflect your new story. Your environment can either reinforce your old narrative or uplift your new one. Surround yourself with people who see your potential, not just your past. This doesn't mean abandoning long-time relationships, but it does mean curating influence. Are you around people who keep you stuck in outdated roles? Or those who cheer your growth, reflect your values, and challenge you with love? Your life narrative evolves faster when it's mirrored by your community. Join groups, mentors, or friendships that align with the story you're writing. If you want to be more creative, hang out with makers. 8. Rehearse your story out loud. To embody an empowering life narrative, you need to practice telling it. When someone asks about your past or your goals, share your story through a growth-oriented lens. Instead of defaulting to self-deprecation or trauma, emphasize what you learned, how you changed, and what you're building now. This isn't about perfection, it's about power. The more you rehearse a story of progress and purpose, the more deeply it becomes ingrained in your identity. Your voice reinforces your beliefs. Practice telling your story in writing, conversation, or journaling. This doesn't mean being inauthentic or hiding pain. It means choosing which lens you want to look through. 9. Track alignment between your story and your actions. Your life narrative gains power when it's consistently lived. Are your daily actions aligned with your desired identity? If your story is "I'm someone who values health," do your habits reflect that? If you say, "I prioritize creativity," does your calendar include time for it? Regularly track whether your behaviors are supporting or contradicting your narrative. Misalignment creates tension and self-doubt. Alignment builds self-trust and momentum. This is not about perfection but consistency. Use weekly check-ins to reflect. Did I live my values this week? When your story and your actions match, you become congruent, and people feel that. 10. Give your life story a title that inspires you. Every powerful story has a title, a central theme that captures its essence. What would yours be? Becoming unshakable, grace in the chaos, the quiet rise? Choose a phrase that feels personal and empowering. This becomes a mantra, a narrative anchor you can return to when things get tough. A strong title helps you remember what your journey is about, especially in low moments. It creates cohesion between your past, present, and future. Write it somewhere visible. Let it evolve if needed, and use it as a guiding lens. All right, that's a wrap on rewriting your life narrative, because your past doesn't have to define your path. Take a deep breath, look at the story you've been telling yourself, and remember, you have the power to edit, shift, and evolve it into something that lifts you up instead of holding you back. If this helped you see your life through a new lens, give it a thumbs up and share one part of your story you're ready to rewrite in the comments. And if you're here for more tools to grow with intention, self-belief, and clarity, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss what's next. Catch you in the next one.